I look back on that time and have many times since and ask, where was my head? Where was my heart? Where were the heads and hearts of my parents, my teachers? Not once from the pulpit at Mass on Sunday did I ever hear anything about the indecency, the indignity, the base injustice that this society inflicted on that large percentage of citizens in this population. Look back on that time and this bothers me. It bothers me. To imagine a time when this city was like that, when every city in the South was like that, when most cities in the country, either by policy or by law, were like that. You know, I remember then that the time came. I was in the military. I was in the Air Force. I operated a control tower at a place called MacDill Field, Florida. As a senior in high school, one day I was walking down the hallway at Father Ryan, at the old Father Ryan on Elliston Place. And my math teacher, a Franciscan priest, called out to me in the hall. I was not good at math. I make that confession. I was not good at math, and I have no idea why this priest called out to me and gave me a book called The Mind of the South. He obviously saw something in me that I didn't recognize in myself, but I thought it might help me a little bit in math to read the book and let him know I read it. And so I read it. I read The Mind of the South by W.J. Cash, and Jack Cash is writing in that book about his own mind, about the mind of the white Southern man that he was. And he examines himself, and through it, readers, particularly white men, were able to examine themselves. And for the first time as a junior in high school, it didn't help my math grade, but it helped me, because it told me something about myself that needed a better understanding of the truth. I needed to open my eyes and see, and that book helped me open my eyes and see. And by the time I'm in the military, I'm in that control tower at 6 o'clock in the morning, and a bugle electronically goes off. I'm looking down on that field, and on one side, black soldiers filed out. On another side, white soldiers filed out. They're all airmen. They have roll call. The white soldiers are off to their white mess hall for breakfast, and the same is true for a different black mess hall for the black airmen. And I'm in that control tower looking straight ahead at the gate, and there's the American flag, our flag. And every one of those airmen and I raised our hands together and sworn to uphold the Constitution and defend our country against all invaders, foreign and domestic. And I think back on that time, and I saw that picture, and perhaps it was the reading that started with Father Theophane and Ryan. But suddenly I'm beginning to understand. By the time I came back here and was working at the paper, I had the great good fortune to work for a paper that was on the cutting edge of change when the Civil Rights Movement came. So now let me take it out of my personal perspective for just a moment and talk to you about students just of your age. Some of them were, and a little older. They were in college. They were at Tennessee State University. They were at Fisk University. They were at American Baptist Seminary. And a few of them were at Meharry Medical School. And they are reading in class, as you, about the history of this country. And they are reading about the Constitution. And they are reading Thomas Jefferson's words about equality for all. They're reading Madison, who says justice under the law. And on weekends, they'd come downtown to Nashville. Many of them on those segregated buses. And nothing they found, either on the buses or downtown, said anything to them about what they were learning about their country and the way it was supposed to be, equal and just. And so they began to gather under the mentorship of a Vanderbilt University divinity student named James Lawson, Reverend James Lawson, long now distinguished minister of the gospel, began to talk to them about the power of nonviolence. And for a year, he teaches them. And for a year, they study. And then he challenges them, let's go down to the department stores on Saturday, and let's test the lunch counter.